What is up, winning team? Welcome back for part 2 about how the world rewards losers. We're going to be talking about Joseph and how he denied Potiphar's wife, because I feel like this is an important detail I haven't actually mentioned anywhere near enough. And also how what I believe is the single most selfish and evil trait of us as humans that I actually feel like is the problem for why everything is the way that it is. So let's start there and then we'll circle back to Joseph. This is a part 2. My last video talked about Mr. Beast. You're just going to have to check that out because it's got a whole bunch of allegations. And honestly, I'm not surprised. It's the classic case of somebody that goes through stuff, develops a desire, desperation for power, whatever, wants to do whatever they can to get there. And once they get there, uses that essentially to kind of take out their undealt with trauma on those around them. Go and watch it if you want to catch up. I want to first of all talk about how I feel like the most selfish characteristic of us as humans, I've been trying to find a way to articulate it because I've been thinking a lot about just all the things that are frustrating me, all the reasons I don't want to be alive. Because, my birthday is coming next week and I'm just like, it's just a reminder of just being in this place that I just hate. And like, I genuinely feel as though the world delivers in every season, in every way, on proving why what I say is true. And it would actually have been better if I was still in the days of where I still thought I was crazy. Like, I missed the days where I thought I was crazy. Now there's just proof every day, everywhere that I look. And so it's actually valid that I hate being here. And the fact that people love being here is because people love the way the world functions. Because the world functions, right? This is what I realized. The most selfish thing we do as humans, right, and it's evil, is we always either expect, want, or feel entitled to somebody else solving all the problems, right? And this is also so prevalent in the body of Christ, where even though Jesus literally said, pray for laborers in the harvest, like go to work, essentially, we're like, oh, Jesus, please, can you come back and save us? Please, can you come back and do this? Please come and get us from... He's like, I left you guys. I left the Holy Spirit so you guys could do it. And once again, you guys are just as bad as the world, waiting for somebody else to come and swoop in and solve all the problems for you. Right? And I've realized ultimately that's what it is, because if you are in your life, and this is why the devil loves to get us into comfort, and I say there's comfort in cowardice. There's comfort in cowardice and there's comfort in compromise. So when you compromise from the way things are really supposed to be done, or from you compromise your own morals and values, then of course you're going to live comfortably in the world, because this is why we say we turn a blind eye to certain things, because it's like it's more uncomfortable for us to deal with them. It's easier for us to just say, oh no, that's fine. That's okay. You know what I mean? Like, the age of consent thing is a big one for me. You guys know that. Where we'll say, oh, somebody turned 18 1 second ago. 1 second ago, they were 17 years old and 59 minutes and 59 seconds or whatever. But then the clock has struck 1 second later, and now it's 100% reasonable for them to be treated as an adult. That's convenient. It's convenient because if we had to actually think about what that is, we'd have to think, well, what's actually appropriate for a young person? What kind of level of maturity? Why are people even interested in why do we even need an age of consent in the first place? Because why is any grown adult even getting close to wanting to be with a child? What about that problem? But no one wants to talk about that because it's convenient. Like, well, this is what the law says, and so this is the law, right? And this is why on a day like today, this is why this day is bothering me even more. My head is hot. This is why I can't sit still, guys, when I'm doing these videos at the moment, because my blood is boiling so much at how much I actually hate everything and everyone, excluding you guys, that I am just in a constant state of just overheating. Like, my body is just hot. My head is hot. And like, I'm just constantly just irritated by absolutely every single thing that I'm seeing around me. Because again, people are going to vote today in the local elections, and what's going to happen? Are people actually going to wake up and like actually know what they're doing? No. You know what's going to happen? People are going to go and vote for people they know are not going to do anything, because even I grew up with people saying, oh, politicians, they lie, they all lie, they all lie. So everybody's going to go and vote, right? Because why? As long as we try and hope for somebody, maybe just read a couple of their claims, we hope they fix everything. We know they're not going to, but hey, as long as it doesn't come to your doorstep, right? Hold on. I might not be able to walk down here. So where did I walk before? Oh. Yeah. You won't be able to, you won't have to deal with it as long as it doesn't come to your doorstep, right? It's somebody else's problem. We still leave it with the people we don't trust. We know that these people are not trustworthy. We know that they're wasting our taxes. We pay them anyway, because you know what? There's no effort to pay your tax. It already just comes out of your account anyway. And you know what? That's what everybody's doing anyways, because there'll be a lot of work for us to actually step up and come up against all the things that these people are doing. So let's just give in, because we can't be asked. Yeah, because that's what the situation is. And this is why I'm so frustrated, with everyone and everything. Because where do I go from here? Okay, I'm just going to have to walk up here a little bit. They're doing so much work around the town at the moment. That's why I'm so annoyed with everything and everyone. Because I'm just like, we love to, like, and that's what I mean about compromise and cowardice. Or you don't want to threaten your community you're a part of, right? If I'm honest about the such and such, or if I speak up on so and so, or call out so and so, right? In the same way, believers, they don't. Where actually am I? They don't want to ever hear about the weird things that the pastors and stuff are doing, because again, you'd rather live in the world, live for the world, and hope that the little amount of money you come and bring into church and a bit of prayer and barely any time spent with God is going to get you what you want, right? You're hoping that that's what is going to get you what you want. Yeah, you love showing up and having somebody else do a sermon and read the Bible. Do you not have a Bible for yourself? You're not doing Bible study. No, you'd rather not. You'd rather somebody else do the work for you so you can be lazy, right? And that's why, again, it leads to then tolerance. And this is why I'm saying that it is actually evil, because it always leads to evil, because then whatever we're tolerating, whatever we're compromising with, we've then given that thing over the power. And then we have to deal with the consequences, which is literally where we are all now, where we're just dealing with the consequences of all these people, of all these things that we've just tolerated because we didn't want to have to do the work ourselves. We didn't want to have to do the work. We weren't prepared to endure the situation, or we don't have the actual self-control that, the fruits of the Spirit, like has in the Bible. Galatians 5:22, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, faithfulness, gentleness, long-suffering, self-control, right? We don't have the fruits of the Spirit. So then we get caught up, which is what brings me to Joseph. So, key thing about Joseph, right? Where am I actually going? Key thing about Joseph is that Joseph, the way he ended up in prison, so after he's already endured everything he's endured with his family. Now, again, Joseph is in another episode of people that, as I said in the last video, it's always the losers who get jealous of somebody else because they feel like that person has something they feel entitled to. And so that's why people are always happy to see that person go down. And again, it's a very ugly mentality. Like I said, it's the losers. It's either they want what the supposed winner, they want to benefit from what the supposed winner has. And if that was supposed winner, there's nothing for them to benefit, then they hate them. And then this is how we see all this stuff happening. Like we've seen with Joseph. Same thing we saw with Jesus and the Pharisees, right? The Pharisees were absolutely irritated that Jesus hadn't come. He didn't come to big them up and to be like, wow, you guys have been doing this incredible stuff. He came and he was against them. And he's also like, whatever you've been offering them, I'm offering them like real eternal life. He's got a better offer. They got jealous. They tried to kill him. Joseph was favored of his father. And again, we don't know why he was. Because let's not forget that Joseph was the 11th. Was he 11th or 12th of Jacob's children? So what were the rest of you doing along the way? How comes he became the favorite? You know what I mean? You guys all came first. So anyways, he had found favor in his father. And again, you got like the firstborn Reuben, brother, you're already going to be the heir of everything here. Joseph isn't even one of the 12 tribes. He's not even one of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's the craziest part. So again, like people just, if people focus on themselves and what they have for themselves, then, you wouldn't have to be hating on somebody else or slandering somebody else or stepping on somebody else or manipulating somebody else. But back to Joseph anyways, we're still on the subject. So Joseph now has, okay, we found ourselves back where we need to be. Joseph gets himself into prison. So let's see, he's already been through a lot, right? He's already been through a lot. He's had all of this happen by all his siblings. So that's like the ultimate betrayal. And again, I love how we use words like friends and family until it becomes situations like this. Yeah, this is why I don't believe in it. This is why I don't believe love lives here on this earth, right? This is why I believe God separates himself. He's like, I can't be there. I can't operate at this low level of vibration. It's like, and I feel it. That's why I feel like it's excruciating to be here. It's actually excruciating because it's like, this is really how humans are. Like, and this is actually what we encourage and just trying to work out if I walked the right way. But this is what we encourage and this is what we reward, right? So, because everybody loves to see the person go down. It reminds me of the Britney Spears story arc. Yeah, because I loved Britney, still do. I feel like the people that were against her, obviously it was her family that was against her, and the world was so ready to see Britney Spears go down. Like, that's what I think. Everyone was so ready, like, you jealous, bitter losers you all were. As soon as any little story about her, oh my gosh, Britney shaved her head. Yeah, she shaved her head. You know why? Because she was sick of being sexualized by everybody since she was a child, and she just wanted for it to stop. You know? She goes on a drive and I was like, oh, she's lost it. Like, people don't go on drives all the time because it's nice to go on a drive. Yeah. She goes out one night with Paris Hilton because Paris suggested it. Like, you've been working so hard for everyone. You deserve a break. Asks her mum to babysit, which is the responsible thing to do. And that's the story that her mum span around to get her into a conservatorship, because it's like, oh, Britney, she's in, and then the story was, Britney's been out partying, Britney's out partying. You love the world loves these story arcs when it comes to certain people. Yeah, people were so ready to see her go down. Oh, her parents need to protect her money. Her parents need to protect her money. Yeah, of course, you guys were happy to see her go down. You were so happy for that. Just like everybody was happy to see Chris Brown go down. Everyone's so happy from your loser side and this is why I don't trust anyone. And I don't know that I ever will. I don't know that I ever will, in all honesty. Because just seeing how happy people are to see other people go down, it's just sickening to me. Like, you really wanted this. Like, you really are happy about this. Where in the freakity frickin' frack am I? I'm just glad that the clouds are not getting darker, because I'm not dressed for the rain. Not that I really care. I'm steaming hot anyways, because this plan is giving me a headache. My head hurts and I'm literally sweating. Like, I can't bear being here. But you know what? I was just thinking, like, if Jesus can suffer on that cross to give me eternal life, I can suffer in this place for 90 years. If that's what it has to be, that's what it will be. So, like, we're about a third of the way probably through. So I just got to endure. I just got to do this twice more. It's like when you're doing a workout and it's like, okay, I'm going to run 30 minutes. I've run 10 minutes. I just need to do that again twice more. That's how I feel like about turning 29. It's like, okay, I've made it 29 years. I just need to do this twice more. This is how much I hate being alive. But yeah, so Joseph now, and this is where again, it goes back to character, like I was saying, that there's winners have a certain character that's different to everybody else. I truly don't know where I am. Different character to everybody else, right? And character above all else is what constitutes a winner versus a loser. This is what I've been saying. Character above everything else. Because even God, I feel like the misunderstandings about God as a whole stem from the fact that people, I did find my way where I wanted to go. I've been doing this thing where I've been testing out my intuition. I've been trying to strengthen my intuition skills. And so by doing that, I just do certain tasks and I just go with my gut rather than with my head and see where it takes me. Because I feel like it strengthens my relationship with the Holy Spirit. Because then sometimes I'll get a strong feeling like, don't do this, don't do that, or do this or do that. So I love that for us. Shout out to the Holy Spirit. But yeah, so winning is about character. So I always say that the thing that I think people get wrong about God is they're spending, again, so much time trying to see what they can get out of him. You're not investing in a relationship with him. You're not getting to know who he is as a person. And that's why as soon as anything goes wrong, in your opinion, in the relationship, you're ready to throw him out, right? Throw the baby out with the bathwater because you're like, oh, well, God didn't do this. It's like what Kanye West said. Well, I prayed to God to help me with this and he didn't do it, so I'm not interested. And it's like, mate, do you even know what's at stake here? Do you even know what's at play? This is a game full of all of us humans with free will, right? Like, there are forces of different things happening and reasons why certain things are and are not happening. Like, I had to realize the humbling thought, and the thing that really has pushed me over the edge at the start of this year was realizing that God's like, hey, look, I know that you like what you keep praying about, like, let's start a revolution and let's do this. Where's the people? I'm waiting for the other people who are ready to be on board, because you're going to need the people, because right now they're the ones maintaining the system. They're the ones, or like these people right now, driving in their cars, going to their workplaces, taking their kids to the indoctrination camps, building the devil's kingdom. So, you know what I'm saying? And then it becomes one of those things where it's like, people only want God to intervene where they want him to intervene. Because say he came and he took out all the people, the predators, and he took down this, yeah? Do you also want him to take down the things you're doing behind the scenes that you shouldn't be doing? Do you also want to intervene there? Do you also want him to punish you for your sins and what you've done to hurt others? Exactly. It's another pick and choose. Exactly like I said about the selfishness. Oh, God, please help with all this stuff so I can continue my life. And it's like, okay, but what if I have to now come in? So I get where he's coming from. And this is what I mean when I say about God's character. And you have to get to know his character. But, to get to know someone's character, you have to actually spend time with them. And so, again, a lot of people want to benefit off of the relationship that they haven't invested in. And that logic only seems to apply to God. Because then when it comes to normal relationships, we're all very entitled, aren't we? We're all very entitled. It's crazy. Parents of today, in the same breath, will be upset about, their child doesn't spend time with them, their child isn't grateful, they're expecting all this from their child. If their child behaved in a certain way, they'd kick them out. But then you have an issue with God saying, you can't come and be with me if you behave this way. But you would justify that if it was your own kids, because you're selfish. You're selfish and you're self-absorbed, and you want somebody else to come in and swoop in and sort out things. You want to be able to have your cake and eat it too. Yeah, that's why I hate it here. Because apply the same logic to God that you apply to everything else. But no, because for you want God to do stuff for you and how you want it done. And you also want to be able to do whatever you want to do at the same time. Which is why L. Ron Hubbard, father of Scientology, he posed a very good point. In terms of Scientology, at least he called it out. He said, well, in Scientology, we believe you should be able to do whatever you want to do. And if there's anything stopping you, that's a result of your reactive mind, right? So that's where the whole concept of all the e-meter readings and the healing, whatever they call it, that you have to do. But then he says a good point. He put it beautifully. If you shoot a duck, right, and you want to shoot a duck, then that's your prerogative, right? And you feel like you have the right to do so. But then, what about the duck's rights? What about how the duck feels? Because as far as the duck's concerned, are you not now the villain? And that's how we don't think as humans. We just think only of ourselves, and we don't go past that level. I feel entitled to this. That's why I think anybody who thinks they're any kind of, I think if anybody actually genuinely thinks that they're a good person, this is why I don't believe in good people. None of us are good. We all pick and choose what matters to us. Some people, it's the animals. Some people, it's the planet. Some people, it's, homeless people. Some people, we all pick and choose. And that's good because that creates a healthy society. But what we're not going to do is convince ourselves as if we're all just these selfless beings who are putting everybody else before us constantly. Because in reality, we've all decided what line is enough for us. That's the truth of it. All of us have decided. We've all decided that, unlike Christ, right? Which is why, again, going back to Joseph, we want to decide how much somebody deserves. Like, I find this is why, the world is just a sad place, because a lot of people need a lot more patience than they're going to get. It's like with kids. They need a lot more patience than what we might be prepared to give them. But are they wrong for needing more patience, or you be wrong for not trying to give it to them? Like, you see, these types of questions, or even somebody else, like, you'll see someone going through a hard time, and then you'll be entitled to think how long and how they should deal with said hard time. This is like what I've said about why I think mental health is a scam. Because it's like, somebody could be going through something. And so it's just because the screen is so dark. It's because there's no sunlight and it's just cloudy and it's muggy, and also the direction I'm walking. So I'm just like, I can actually barely see myself. What was I saying? And it's this freaking camera. It keeps doing this. Oh, whatever. Who cares? There's right ways and wrong ways to deal with stuff. That's what I've realized as humans, because, again, it usually comes down to what you can be bothered to deal with. Not what the person actually needs, what you can be bothered to deal with. And then on top of that, you then also want to play judge and jury and everything. And as soon as you're hurt, you're entitled to this, right? That's why I find it like, when Jesus, he was betrayed, he was backstabbed, everything, and all this, and he still did what he did. A lot of us would use that as the excuse to be like, well, my feelings were hurt and I went through this, so I'm going to become a horrible person now, and I'm going to take out my pain on everybody else now for the rest of time. Because that's what a lot of people do as well. Sorry, guys. I don't know if there's something crawling on me or what. 1 second. Maybe I'm just getting agitated. But, and this goes for Joseph. Because first things first, Joseph, after all that's happened with his family, he then finds himself in a predicament I don't think a lot of people would have dealt with well, where Potiphar's wife is the one who made a move on him. If you guys don't know. So Potiphar, who's like, I think the Pharaoh's, either Pharaoh or the Pharaoh's second in command, I don't know. But anyways, his wife makes a move on Joseph. So again, how many people can swerve temptations at the times when, because who knows, he could have gone for it and he could have maybe gotten away with it. Oh my gosh, the button on my shirt. Oh dear. I can't do this one-handed. Okay, we did it. How many people could actually swerve that temptation? Like, especially if you're thinking, oh, I might be able to get away with it. I might be able to this. We could have a little fling on the side. No one has to know. But his character was it. Hello. Yeah, no, I just bumped into this old couple that I know from church. Yeah. Oh my gosh, guys, that was so funny. Basically, I love how this works. So I'm here talking about Joseph did this. So I'm walking up the road, yeah, and it's always when I least expect it. This is what I'm saying. Normally when I'm walking around certain areas, I'm like, I should watch out in case I see so-and-so and so-and-so. Anyway, this stuff I just couldn't make this stuff up if I tried. So I'm here walking, yeah. I'm just minding my business. And then, there's a pastor couple that I always talk about. The ones who are protecting predators. Like, and who are really awkward every time I'm saying this is actually the least awkward experience they've had. So they're walking behind me, and of course they're going to vote. You couldn't make this stuff up. And I just love that I'm just here running my mouth about the Lord. Oh, meanwhile, these people think I'm a heathen and I'm dressed like one. Oh, I love it. It even couldn't be better. Like, it actually couldn't be better, because it's moments like these that I love, because, oh, it's so funny. And they're together. And they were like, oh, we knew it was you anyways. And they're being all gracious. And I'm like, this is what I don't like about you people. Always trying to be gracious about everything. Like, ugh, whatever. That is so funny. I can't believe how funny that is. But anyway, so I've snuck off into the field. I wasn't going to go into I wasn't sure, but now I've snuck off into the field because they're going to, and I should have known. I didn't know where the voting was going to happen up the road, but I bet you it's happening in the church as well. We're going to have to spy while I'm finishing what I'm saying. Anyways, a lot of people wouldn't be able to like survive what Joseph did. Like, I think, because it was a character related issue. Whatever was going to happen next is irrespective. He chose, to say no. And we don't know for what reason, but the fact is that he did. And again, I think a lot of people in situations, this is what I'm saying about with winning and losing, if given the chance, would do certain things if they could get away with it. So anyways, because she's all salty, and she's obviously thinking like, who doesn't want to be with me? She probably thought he was an easy target, and maybe she thought she'd love her a bit of Joseph. Yeah. She obviously goes and lies, doesn't she? And she goes and tells, I had to bring you guys in, by the way, on the fake phone call. That's why I did a little bit of the fake phone call thing with you, because this is what I do. This is what I be doing. I fake phone call all the time, like to get out of conversations with people. I be faking being on the phone. I've gotten so good at it. One day I was walking and I was preparing to like go past a certain place or to a certain place, and I was like, I need to be on the fake phone. And I did it for so long. I was doing it for like 5 minutes longer than I even needed to. I got so lost in it. I was doing it without even thinking about it. Anyway, and so, he denies her, and then she goes and snitches anyway. He's like, oh my gosh, he tried to make a move on me, right? See, this is why you can't be around anyone. You can't be around anyone because you can't even just exist. He's just here helping out Pharaoh, helping out whatever. He's just minding his business, yeah? And then homegirl has to come in and ruin it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Somebody always comes in to ruin everything. That's what I've realized. There's always somebody entitled or greedy or something. So she swoops in now, and she's upset, obviously, because he didn't want to go with her. And then, sorry, the lighting is so bad. I'm only just realizing this now, but it's been pretty bad the last few videos. Anyway, and this is why I should make videos inside, where the sun shines directly into my window. And what was I saying? He gets thrown into prison. And that is my point, that you get punished in this world, like, for doing the right thing, like, for doing the winning thing. And that's why, to me, winning is the simple fact that I get to be in eternity with God forever. And also that in the right season, everything that we get through the Lord will be better than what we can imagine, better than what the world can offer. And we won't have to live with the guilt of having done things the wrong way, or having lived selfishly, or having turned a blind eye, because I'll be embarrassed. The reason why I can't just like sit here and turn a blind eye, and I can't just like live selfishly, is because I will be embarrassed if one day I get to heaven and God's like asking us all, like, what did we do while we were on earth? And then we're like, oh, well, God, I lived for me, and I did what suited myself, and I did what made me happy, and what made me feel fulfilled, and what made me feel validated, and me. And then God's like, yeah, so I don't know if you missed the part where Jesus is dying. Yeah. And love is supposed to be a selfless thing. So you kind of missed the point altogether. And then what are we going to do? Like, oh, it is the church, is the frigging polling station. Goodness me. So the one time I'm seeing the church open, right, the mosque is obviously open, is when it's the polling station. I couldn't write this stuff if I tried. Could not write this stuff if I tried. The one time I'm seeing the church now open at this time of the day. And it's because it's a polling station. So open up for the world's things. And I bet you they've got members of the church who volunteered time to be there. I hate this place. I hate it. I hate everything. I hate everywhere. Can you guys see why? Anyway, I'm going to go in, because if this is what the time when people are going in, anyways, I've got stuff I've got to do, unfortunately. But yeah, and then after all of that, after all is said and done, what does Joseph do? Joseph, who then goes to prison. In prison, he's learning his skills, right, of dream interpretation. So again, he's working at it. He hasn't given up. Then he goes and interprets Pharaoh's dream. He saves all of Egypt. And guess who else? His freaking family. His flipping family at the end of it all. Yeah, that's the life of a winner. And that's the life of why I say that this world sucks. This world is a suckish place, because if you just look at the Bible stories, they speak for themselves. Like, they speak for themselves. Like, the world awards losers and being a loser and loser character and loser behavior because it's a world of losers. They lose at the end. All this stuff that people are doing, all these lives everybody's living, you're not going to take that with you. All this validation that you get, all this whatever. First of all, you're going to be held accountable for how you used it. That's why I don't want to be in any random positions. I don't want to go around calling myself somebody's friend, somebody's family, because God's going to hold me accountable for using those words, whether I actually lived up to those words the way that I was supposed to live up to them. I don't want to go around having some leadership this, leadership that, because I'm going to be held accountable for the people. I'm going to be held accountable. I'm going to be held accountable for the things that I've done. I'm going to be held accountable for the things done out in the open and things done in the hidden. So this idea of like living for the world and living for the things of this world, it just doesn't, there they are, they're coming out. Let us spy. Okay, if I just sit in the grass here, they won't be able to see me. I'm so nosy. I'm going to sit here. I'm just going to watch them. And they're just there walking, holding hands, like, oh, whatever, give me a break. Where are they? Where are they? I just saw them coming out. Maybe they're going to go for lunch together and go to wherever. Oh no, I can see them now. So yeah, they are actually a cute couple. But the thing is as well, also, none of their kids, like, their kids are all adults and like married and with kids and things, and they've got like 4 or 5 kids, and like they're not believers. And I feel like that needs to be something that needs to be addressed more so in Christian circles. And not to say that you have to force and make sure your children are whatever, but I feel like a man of God that I know said this to me. He was like, when the Bible says you shall know them by their fruit, like, somebody's children are also their fruit. So who their children are tells you a lot about them. But again, this is what I was saying, wasn't it? About, sorry, I'm trying to be really quiet because they could be able to see me. This is what I mean when I say that people don't want to deal with the uncomfortable things. They just want to make that something else. It's just like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen to the kids. Like I say, how when somebody grows up and they're well behaved, well mannered, responsible, it's always, oh, you've been raised right. Oh, you've been raised right. It's never the reverse though. Whenever kids are not doing all of that, they just spawned out of nowhere. They just spawned out of hell from nowhere. I still don't get that. What do you mean? When they were all good, oh yeah, you've been so raised right, your parents must be so proud, blah, blah, blah. But when the kids are the opposite, I don't know what happened, I don't know anything, and it's like, you don't know anything at all. You don't know anything. That's concerning. But again, like I said, these are the uncomfortable truths. Okay, they've gone past. I think they did spot me. I was just like, I don't want to accidentally have them realize I'm just chilling, and then we end up in some conversation. And these are the kinds of things where they'll see me, they're like, oh, I saw her and she was like this, and I was just so worried because you know people just, this is how it always starts. It always starts with something simple that turns into a drama for no good reason. But yeah, so anyways, you get the gist. This is what happened with Joseph, and like, again, it was his character and so many things about him. Like, whatever happened, it didn't stop him. And when he saw his family, he was filled with tears and crying, excited, like the idiot, like the idiot that you will be. And they're like benefiting after their loser behavior. You see what I'm saying? You always losers, yeah. And that's the thing that annoys me, is that the losers, yeah, still are going to get to benefit. This is why once it's all said and done, and we're all heading to the promised land, and we've all done the revolution, I hope the Lord lets me die immediately, because I don't want to be around to watch the people that made all of this hard be rejoicing. I'm happy that they're rejoicing. It's the same way that I'm like, look, I want everybody to be in heaven, but hey, if I'm in the north of heaven, some people need to be in the south of heaven, respectfully. Because I don't want to have to be here to see the rejoicing of all the people that made it hard, like the general public, like literally everyone, always making all of this so difficult, living like the world, living selfishly, And ironically, this is the same pastor's wife I just seen is the same one who was like, I'm doing such and such so I can build up my treasures in heaven. So is this all about your treasures in heaven? Or is this like, do you know what I'm saying? Is this all about your treasures in heaven? Or is this because you care and you're filled with compassion, like it says in Matthew 9? Exactly. So yeah, I don't have to be around for that. I need this. As soon as we're done with all of this, revolution, then underground tunnels, then promised land. Once we're through the door and everybody, you guys are all through the door, I want to leave. I don't want to be around for the people who were the stragglers, the ones making it all long right now, the ones who are still deluded. I don't care. Take me out. I've done my job. Let me go. Let me go, because I don't want to have to stick around. If it was only like you guys, then again, maybe we can have our own faction in the and we can go and be somewhere else. I don't want to have to be around anybody that I don't want to have to be around. I feel like it's because I've done that so much, and people are so entitled to your time and your energy and your everything, that I'm now at a stage where I feel so protective of my time, because I'm so used to just the entitlement. And then when people, when you don't spend time, then everyone wants to have a conversation. Oh, I haven't seen you in forever. Oh, it's been a while. Oh, how have you been? And it's like, oh, what is it? And like a lot of the times, like, what do you even miss? We don't even know each other. You don't even know me. You don't even know anything about me other than like the bare basics. You probably think that teaching is my whole life and I love my job just because it's what I do. That's what you probably think. You probably think a lot of things that are incorrect. Whoever you're envisioning, she doesn't exist. That's how I feel about literally everybody. Even when I meet new people, I'm like, look, whatever you think, it's not that. It's not that. Whatever you're thinking, it's not that. It's not going to be, oh, nicey nice. Oh, no. I'm sick of this world. I'm sick of everything. I'm sick of how we're living and how selfish we all are. Like I said, I'm going to sell my stuff. When I get the energy, maybe that'll be my birthday task. I'm going to be selling a lot of my stuff. I've already gotten rid of a lot of stuff. I'm selling a lot of my stuff. Because what do I need it for? Or giving it to charity? I want to like live a simpler life. I don't want to be involved in a lot of things. I don't want to go and engage with anything in this world. Because it's, again, just turning a blind eye to how these things have all come to be, how we all get all of these clothes and stuff that we have, and these items that are being made around the world, how we get all this food, how we get even these medications and stuff, you know, what they're doing, what shady business is happening for them to come to some of these things that they're creating, and why they're doing it, and what they're putting in the food and stuff. I can't participate anymore. And I just feel like people just do, because like I said, it's the comfortability and cowardice and compromise. I can't just keep turning a blind eye and pretending things aren't happening or waiting for somebody else to do something. So as far as I'm concerned, all I do every day, wake up and I'm like, God, what is it? Where do I need to go? What is the step one? Because I just don't know where to start with any of this, but where and what. That's all I want to know. I don't want to know anything else. I don't want to know anything else. I don't want to talk about anything else. Where do we start this thing? Where it's going to succeed. That's all I need to know. Don't care about anything else. Don't want anything else. Don't care. That's just as far as that's going. So anyways, I am going to go. I have to go because I have to actually do things. It looks dark. It looks later than it is just because it's so dark and cloudy out. I got things to do. And I'm sick of it, guys. I really am. And I'm going to struggle when it gets to the weekend and I'm not working, because it's just like, then it's going to be right around the corner, my birthday, and it's like I'm still here, and like there's nothing worse than like, it's like you've tried to already kill yourself so many times, and then you realize you can't actually do it. So what's worse, not wanting to be alive or not being able to die? Because I feel like it's the second one, and that's why I've even just given up, because I'm like, you know what, I know it's not going to happen. But also, it's because I promised the Lord that I wouldn't. And as I said, if Jesus is going to suffer on my behalf so that I can stay for eternity, I can live eternity in heaven, the very least I can do is just ride out another 60 years in this hellscape. So if that's what it's going to have to be, that's what it's going to have to be. But to be honest with you, I actually do think things will get better. I do think that somehow the Lord is going to convince me that life is worth enjoying and participating in. It's just that I can't do it knowing that I'm doing it whilst other people, and particularly the kids, are suffering. That's my problem. I can't turn a blind eye to that. and just be like, I don't want to just enjoy myself while other people are going through all these things and just ignore my impact on every decision I make, the things I choose to engage with, things I choose to watch, musicians I choose to listen to, places I choose to go, businesses I choose to work for. Like, I can't turn a blind eye to that. I just can't even find it in me to actually even pretend to be enjoying things like that anymore, because I just know the impact I'm having. And it's more like us as a collective. But hey, as I said, we all love the whole, oh, it's just me, I'm just one person, what does that matter? But it's like, but we all are together, one person that makes a difference, right? As even like now, I always think to myself, it's kind of a big deal how many subscribers I have, because that's people in different places around the world. And if every one person in wherever they are around the world did something to impact the society, all of a sudden the impact seems a little bigger than what it initially feels and looks like, and that's just the case. If all of us were to just wake the freak up and but again, I guess like I said, it's the comfort in cowardice, right? And compromise. Like, let's just live our own selfish lives. I just can't do that. I just can't. I can't pretend that this stuff isn't crazy, because it's not fair. It's not fair for me to just turn a blind eye just because I can, just because I'm privileged. This is why I think a lot of us who talk about things like privilege, again, it's another thing we talk about in a way that's favorable to ourselves, because like, yeah, I want to talk about this person's privilege, that person's privilege. What about our privileges? What about the privilege that you get to live your life and you get to do the things you want to do? That's a privilege. That's why I can't really take to heart a lot of stuff in the world that a lot of people are upset about, because I'm like, listen, I live my life, I pretty much do whatever I want. There's a lot of people who don't get anywhere close in the world to how much freedom I already have. So that's a privilege. So that's why I can't say that, Anyway, I'm actually going to go. Because their flags that game. Let's play to win. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. I'll see you in the next one.